What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another update video. 10 weeks post-surgery to the day. I always make these videos on the exact day, so everything is as accurate as possible. It takes me a couple days to edit it and upload it and all that kind of stuff, but this is exactly 10 weeks out of surgery. So what's new? I'll tell you what's new. Your girl is walking without a brace. So I am officially out of the brace when I'm walking. The only time I wear the brace is when I run. What? When you do what? When I run. You do what? You're running? When I run, baby. I am running in the Alter G, which is like a anti-gravity treadmill, and I ran in it 3 times now. The first time I ran at 70% of my body weight for 5 minutes, 1 minute on, 30 seconds walk at an 8.5 minute mile pace. And then the second time I ran in it, the Alter G wasn't really working properly, so it would only pick up like 20% of my body weight, so I had to run in it at 80% of my body weight. And I did that for 10 minutes, 2 minutes on, 1 minute walk. And I did the exact same thing the third time. So the reason that I changed from 1 minute on, 30 seconds off to 2 minutes on, 1 minute off is because every time I would start walking, my calf and the bottom of my foot would cramp. But when I was running, I could just kind of like run through it. But when I would walk, it would just like hurt so bad and really like ball up. So I tried to make the walking as infrequent as possible, because the transition from like the run to the walk was when like the cramp really set in, and having to wear that brace while I run makes the chances of those two things cramping on me that much higher. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. How was the Alter G? It's interesting. The first couple times it feels really awkward. If you're somebody that takes long strides, you'll have to shorten up your stride, because a long stride like doesn't really work in it. It kind of makes you stay really upright and not like lean forward like you naturally want to do when you run. Kind of hurts your back a little bit. All 3 times that I ran, I didn't stop because my ankle was hurting. I either stopped because of my calf and under my foot, or because of my hip. So that's promising, and the fact that those things started hurting before like my actual ankle is good. I did have a little bit of pain on the outside of my ankle. It felt a little bit awkward for me to like keep my toes straight. They kept wanting to like turn in a little and run like pigeon-toed, which I'm not naturally, so it was a little bit awkward like that. But I think it was just like the range of motion that my foot wasn't really happy with. Overall, it felt pretty good. No major complaints or major issues. I definitely had a really hard time breathing, which I need to work on my lung capacity, because it was like I was gonna have a freaking heart attack. But the ankle was okay. It held up. I mean, it feels awkward. Like, it just doesn't feel natural. I definitely wouldn't recommend like trying to run without running in the Alter G or an anti-gravity situation first. I'm gonna probably keep doing that for, I think, until month 4, so at least another 6 weeks, and then I can start to run full body weight. Or maybe we'll do full body weight before that, and then but only on the treadmill, and then like move up to like out in the real world and on grass and stuff. We'll see. Moving on, I want to keep this as short as possible, because I know my last couple of videos have been like way too long, like 40 minutes. So we're going to try to keep this one under 20, fingers crossed. So as always, I have some new exercises that I've been given in the last 2 weeks. I am not going to put my entire PT routine in, just the 4 new exercises that I've received in the last 2 weeks. So here is a clip of me doing those right here. yeah, all 4 of those exercises are going well, and really no issues with any of them outside of the main issues that I've been dealing with the whole time that haven't really gone away, which we will get into. Well, I guess let's get into them right now, shall we? The catching and cracking situation in my ankle that it's like catches until it feels like it can crack, and then it cracks and it hurts really bad, but then I have more range of motion and less pain. That situation is still there. To be honest, I think it's getting worse in the sense that it's happening more frequently, but when it does happen, it's less painful and it happens a little bit easier. And so because of that, I almost want it to happen more frequently, because then it like really opens up my ankle and gives me more mobility. So I don't actually mind that it's happening more frequently, as long as it's not like more painful. Again, I'm just gonna keep an eye on that. None of my doctors or PTs really know what's going on with that. They just want to keep an eye on it. So hopefully it goes away soon and it's just like scar tissue catching or something. That's the hope. So the knot in my calf and on the bottom of my foot are still in full force. I have got them needled several times, and Cade massages them like every day, and the knots are just freaking stubborn little knots, and they will not go away, and I just am gonna keep getting after them and hope that they go away soon, because I think I'm a little bit like, I've always had issues with knots in my body, like literally all over my body. I don't really know what it is, but I know in my calves I have this issue called compartment syndrome, which is essentially just like my fascia won't expand with the muscle like it should. And so I wonder if that has something to do with it. Like it's just kind of like doesn't expand and let my muscles be free and live and move. But I don't really know. So hopefully those go away soon, because I feel like they're holding me back with a lot of rehab things. They cramp before like the ankle gets fatigued, and then there's just kind of like nothing you can do after that. So, and then behind my knee is still super sensitive. It's like really hard to explain. It's like not a muscle, it's not really tight, or maybe it is really tight, I don't know. It just feels sore. Like when you get really sore from doing like RDLs or anything with your hamstrings, or you get really sore from stretching or something like that, that's how it feels behind my knee. Like I can't stretch it, I can't really touch it, I can't put like a lot of pressure on it, but it's like not a knot. It's just really hard to explain, and I don't really know what's going on or how to fix it. But I'm basically just trying to like desensitize it all the time. So like do quad stretches and stuff that like hurts it, and then obviously trying to stretch my hamstring out and behind my knee more, because I think that overall with everything, I would say that my flexibility behind my knee and like low hamstring are the worst things, like aspects on me right now. Like it's almost like comical when I try to stretch my hamstring. It's like, is she actually trying, or is that real life? So yeah, we're working on it. Last 2 things are the feeling and sensation in my foot. It's getting like that much better. When Cade like tickles my foot with his fingers, it used to feel like he was stabbing me with knives, and now it kind of feels like he's stabbing me with dull knives. So we're getting better. And lastly is the blood pooling, is what I believe it's called, in my foot. When I'm up standing for long periods of time, my foot will get like dark and like a dark reddish, and not my natural skin color. And I think that that's like blood like rushing to the area, and just kind of like, I don't really know what it is, but it makes my foot feel like swollen and heavy and hot kind of, and uncomfortable and blah 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 blah. But I notice it a lot when I'm standing up for a long period of time and I don't have my socks on. My right foot is like my skin color and my left foot is like red. Actually, it kind of turns like this color. So yeah, just the color of my socks really. So that's pretty much all of the issues that I'm dealing with at the moment. Just working on mobility, of course, and some strengthening. And last thing I want to cover, as always, is my mental state and how that's going, how that's coming along. And to be honest, I think it's getting better. I don't know if it's because my ankle is getting better, so there's like more hope and I'm a little bit happier and I can walk and I can do all these things, or if it's just because I've put myself in a better mental state. Like I've become more conscious of what's of what I'm thinking and where my mind is going. So pretty much where my mental state is right now is that what's done is done, and all you can do now is just make the best of what's in front of you and learn from your mistakes. And I feel like I've been telling myself that this entire time, but I'm kind of in a place where I'm like finally accepting it. And while I do have moments, even just multiple times throughout the day or every other day or whatever, where I slip back into that mindset of like self-pity and regret, I am conscious of it and I pull myself out of it and get my mind back on the right track. So I just constantly try to remind myself that if I keep moving forward and taking steps to getting better and keep my mind in a positive state, that I will be able to eventually get better. Whereas if I keep my mindset in a negative state and I just keep looking back and having a regret, that I'm not moving forward and getting better, and I'm just gonna stay in this bitter self-pity hole that I'm in when I'm feeling that regret. And in 2 months, I'm either going to go backwards or I'm going to go forward and get better, and in time get back to playing. And another thing that I try to remind myself is that you can kind of like think your life into existence, or manifest, if you will. I just try to always remember that if I'm having positive thoughts and telling myself that I'm getting better every day and I'm gonna get back to 100% and I'm gonna get rid of the clicking and I'm gonna get my calf better and I'm gonna get 100% strength back and I'm gonna come back even stronger, then maybe I will. But if I tell myself that this sucks, I made a bad decision, I'm weak, everything's messed up, my ankle's never gonna get better, I'm never gonna play again, I'm never gonna be better, then that's probably gonna happen. So I try to just always tell myself that things are gonna be okay and everything's gonna be okay and we're all gonna be okay. And that's what we all have to tell ourselves right now. Everything's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Just keep working. Okay, that's all for now. I'm losing my mind. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped some of you, and hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and give me a big thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see ya next time. Happy healing. Bye.